Voices aloud, we've come to sing it out. Nobody like you, nobody like you. And with our voices aloud, we've come to sing it out. Nobody like you.
All right. Shalom and welcome. Tonight we are going to go over the red clover. What can the red clover do for you? What can it do for me? What can it do for all of us? Well, let's find out. We can get this in a tincture. We can get this in a sprout. We can get this in the powder form. Red clover. This is some good stuff. It is good for what ails you. Now, with many of these things, what we have to find out is what is bothering you personally, right? What is hurting you? What is making you? What's the problem? So many times what we find out is we are looking into these different ones, right? So with each and every different one that we find, we're looking for what can help everyone out. Shalom and welcome, brother. So red clover is another one that is good. It's found in Europe and Asia. Again, you can get it in these, you can sprout it. The great thing that I love about this, what we're finding out, is you can get it in sprouts. So you can get it like this and get the little sprout jars, and you know that there's no GMOs, there's no pesticides, there's nothing like that in these. And then you can just grow them yourself and you know what you're getting. So that, I believe, is very helpful and very detrimental as well, because then that helps us know what we're getting ourselves into. And when we know what we're getting ourselves into, we know what we're taking, that helps us out tremendously. So with all that being said, we have to find out what is the problem. With all these, the whole purpose is to find out what is hurting, what is ailing, what is bothering you personally, right? So when this is what is one of these things, then that's what we find out. Now, with this one, as with all of them, you have to take more precautions with each one that we find, right? So each one that has more and more of a problem is where we find the more and more precaution, if that makes sense. So in other words, usually the more expensive it is, the more, the more it costs, the harder it is to get, is usually the things that we find out. So with all that being said, this has incredible health benefits, and these are something that we try Me and my wife both try a lot of them. Some of the more expensive one, hard to get. I don't personally try too much. I might have a taste of it to taste it. I used to take a little bit of it myself. And here is my spoon, that my little spoon. This is where a lot of the more potent ones is what I use. I found this. And what I used to do was take a little bit myself and try it, mix water in it until I did the horseradish, I believe it was. And it gave me a headache for about 2 hours because I think I took a little bit too much. And again, if there's nothing wrong with you, this is for something, ailments and things like that. So the more powerful they are, the more they are to, get a hold of. So with all that being said, it heals wounds, and studies have proven red clover is an anti-inflammatory and antibacterial agent. So it helps if you have wounds, that are hard to heal, or maybe some people, they're getting older, that their wounds don't heal up, or maybe the immune system or something like that's wrong or going wrong. Personally, I had something right here on my head for about a month, and it's in some of my older videos. And I think I just kept scratching it at night, but it just kept being a big sore, big scab. And for putting this stuff on and taking it, again, to help heal the wounds and help heal your body and do the best that we can. But I know some of these things work, the Insignia and some of the other ones. Sometimes if it gets bad too, I found mixing some of these together makes a lot of sense too. So it helps psoriasis, eczema. My wife says it better. That word always gets me. But I think you've seen probably commercials and stuff that people that have the what would you call it? Looks like inflammation or some kind of wounds that don't really, well, it's not really a wound, but something that doesn't heal, like an itchy spot and things like that. And that's supposed to help with that as well. The biggest problem with a lot of these is feedback, and without a lot of studies, like personal studies, we just don't know, so we take them ourselves. We try to take them for what we can to put that word out there to help others with that word, but that's all we can do. A lot of people, they go to doctors, go to different things, which is fine, not knocking that, just saying that we need a study of probably 50, 100 people to say, yeah, this does this, or yes, this does this better. Improves your cardiovascular health. So, for a lot of people, I know my dad's getting older, and for his health and for his breathing, again, will he take it like he's supposed to? Not usually. Will he do what he's supposed to with it? Not usually. But when you take a lot of these on time, then it usually helps out so much better. So we got the heal the wounds. I hope this is coming through right. Sometimes it sticks and doesn't come through the way it should. It also treats, number 4, treats infertility. Not coming through right? Okay. So studies have concluded. Now, some of these studies, again, we haven't done these studies, but obviously people have done the studies on these that they have showed of what it's done. All right, thank you. So a lot of these studies are, are studies of 100 to 1,000 people, which is what you need to find out if this works. So the red clover comes into the picture with this. So for young people that are trying to have children that have fertility problems, this is another thing that instead of going and doing things unbiblical or, doing things that may be risky or costly or whatever, then this is something else to try. It combats osteoporosis. You can find various studies claiming women are susceptible to weak bones. And I think a lot of people, we can see some of the older people when they bend over, a lot of people attribute that to that's the way they walk, or that's the way that they from bending over that long. But a lot of that also is bone structure. And when you get older, your bones seem to be more fragile and everything of that nature. So the disease can also affect men as well. And with help of the mineral like potassium, you can increase your bone density. So I truly believe that, I see a lot of people in their 80s, 86, 87, that they are doing great things and doing great, on paddle boards, if you will, even. They're doing things that younger people do. So I believe as long as you treat your body and give it the right nutrients, then it will do good. The enriched potassium in the red clover tea can function to improve the condition of your bones and ultimately prevents the onset of the osteoporosis. So again, it's what's in these, and it helps fight so many different things. It helps with the bones, it helps to build the bones, and it helps, again, with this one here, to fight cancerous cells. Now, from my studies, from what I found, that cancer, and there's various types of cancer, and that's why there is so many wrong things with it. That's why it's so hard to combat, is because it is a variable stage thing, or a variable, like colon cancer is different from lymphoma. Lymphoma is different from leukemia. Tumors and B cell, T cell. I mean, there's all kinds of different cancers is the problem. So with this is another way we can advance or to study and use this, if you will, right? So a recent study has stated that you can find an adequate amount of vitamin C and the antitoxin in the red clover that can fight those cancerous cells. The rapid spread of cancer cells aids in the health of deterioration, and you can control this by incorporating the herb into your daily routine. Also, more studies are underway to find it has further effects on various types of cancers. So again, I would use this and say this is going to cure your type of whatever it is, but definitely it can help. Definitely it can help with, but you have to know what you're fighting against, the cell or the blood or what it takes. But this also helps so much to get to those aspects. And my wife is a living contribute, praise Yahweh, because she has been taking a lot of these, and probably 8 or 9, maybe 10 a day. And we started mixing them together. And before we did that, she probably couldn't walk 20 feet. Her energy and everything had been down. She was actually bent over, so this is where a lot of this came from. This is another, I believe, a following of Yahweh to not only help ourselves, but why not help anyone else? All those that have ears, anybody that has anybody sick, which if we look around, there's a lot of people that are sick, right? So a lot of this is to help, and that's what I believe we're here for. We read the Bible, we do what we can, we do what we know to do, but we also, I believe, help heal others and help in that process if we can, if we get that knowledge. I think there's so much knowledge that we're missing across the board that we can have. So with all that being said, number 7, for the immune system, you can strengthen your immune system by consuming 2 to 4 cups of warm red clover in a week. When your immunity gets its boost, it will function to combat factors that contribute to the respiratory congestion, bronchial asthma, cough, and cold. However, in case of constant cough and high fever, consult with your primary care and refrain from self-medication. And we have to put this with everything because the way the world is. It improves your scalp health. Dandruff, bacteria, and fungi infections contribute to dismantling your scalp and the health the most. You can prevent this by using the red clover, of course, daily into your routine. It is a powerhouse of antibacterial and antimicrobial properties that treat scalp infections. Regular consumption of the red clover tea is said to promote hair growth as well. And again, these are all things that you can take and make a paste. Some of them you can make the paste out of the the powder type and make a paste, or if you do the tinctures, then you can obviously rub that on your scalp and rub it in and use that as well. Strengthens your internal body. Your body needs plenty of minerals and vitamins to ward off external and internal health. And we all know that McDonald's and all these places just ain't cutting it, right? A lot of these fast food, but when we're traveling, when we're working, when we're doing things, we went to Birmingham the other day. It's 4 hours there, 4 hours back. Where do you eat? What do you do? It's hard to live healthy, if you will, with the lifestyle when you're traveling and doing things. So with all that being said, though, you can take these with you. You can even take the sprout jars with you. I know a lot of people probably already know that, but you can take some of this with you and take it as a snack or something to eat on the way there and back. Let's see. Damaging factors. Nutritionists suggest that consuming natural foods like red clover can allow you to obtain essential nutrients. When you consume it daily, the vitamins and minerals will begin strengthening your internal body effectively. So again, it all comes from the inside, from the cells to the blood is where you want to start. Usually we don't figure these problems out until it's well too late, and then we're fighting something like an uphill battle. But if we can incorporate this when we're younger, or when we know, or when we're even healthy, your body has that immune system and has that natural fighting ability. There is those also that say that these have the anti-cancer. There's something in them that just fights those, right? That helps your body. So instead of waiting till you get it and finding out you're trying to fight it, I would believe it's a lot better to, do the reverse, to fight or take it before the Titanic hits the iceberg, so to speak, right? So with last one, we'll do number 10, psychological health. Like other body organs, your brain needs nourishment as well. Hectic routine and daily chaos can offer and affect your psychological health adversely. This is why you should opt for foods containing soothing properties such as the red clover. Nutritionists suggest that not only the tea made with the herb, but its pleasant aroma function to relax your tense nerves. So it helps your body in so many different ways. It helps you out. It helps, so many different ways, so many different things. And that's what we're looking at. The more we can find something that helps us, the more that these help our body, our brain, our immune system, the better off it is, because our immune system is one of the main things to get rid of all these toxins. And if you live around town or in town, all the cars, planes, pollutants, all that stuff is continually, polluting your body. So the best we can help our body to get rid of that garbage is better off for ourselves and for our families, So with all that being said, I believe we will close up again before we go. The red clover, the tincture, this is the one that you can put, in your hair or on your sores. Like I said, if you have any sores or open wounds that don't heal, but this, like I said before, a lot of these you have to be careful because they have water and alcohol are both up to 60%. So you're getting, you're buying water really, which, how much are you getting in there? Where the powder is what I recommend. We've taken a lot of these because it's easier. You open this up and you put it in your mouth, you squeeze it, you take about 10 drops or the whole thing. And truthfully, once you get taking it and it doesn't hurt your body, it doesn't cause a rash or anything like that. I was giving my wife 2 and 3 little things of this a day. Whatever you call them, the little squeegees or the vials. But basically, this is what it looks like, if you can see that. And you just squeeze it, and the more the more you get. But after you do that, you put 2 or 3 of these together. And what we actually did, because sometimes, especially when you're sick, the more the merrier, right? So you get you just a little, one of these little, what I call baby bottles, put some water in it. We use distilled water usually. And then you can take these, put it in there, and then you can carry it. Don't let it get hot in the car or something like that. But you can carry these throughout the day and take it 2 and 3 times a day if you want to. And that way you have it. And that's what we found. That's what worked for us. I'm not making any doctor decisions or anything like that, but that's what we did. And that's what worked for us.
Full bottle of water. It was the half a bottle.
Oh yeah. And we didn't put a whole lot. A lot of times what we didn't, she said not make the whole bottle of water. Basically, I'm saying empty the bottle, and then we put the tinctures and the red clover and the burdock and different things into that, and then drunk it that way. And then she could drink it later on throughout the day. Any questions or comments? No. All right. Well, yeah, thank you for showing up and for being here. And again, these the better off, I believe, is the powders. When you can get the powders of these things, they've just found out. Thank you, brother. Thank you for being here. That the powders, they're kind of more something to fight with and deal with and spoon them out. And sometimes they get, but I found these to be more potent than this. This is easier. Like I said, I can take it and put it in a bottle. We can take it around and all that. But another thing that I found, that you can get those little pill makers and get some double O capsules or whatever type of capsules. And you can pour this into that. And then you can take the capsules, and it's veggie kosher capsules. It's not nothing else. I know a lot of people like capsules, pills. What am I doing? But if you just put this into that, and then what I did was measured a spoonful is probably 2 to 4 of them capsules. So about 2 capsules to a spoonful. So instead of taking this and worried about getting hot and all that, she could put it in a little baggie or carry something and then take this with it. So this is all an ongoing project. We found 200 to 300,000 different herbs, and I'm finding some now from China and from different places that are supposed to be pretty potent. Some of these by themselves are supposed to cure main diseases. Just can you hand me that one? And some of them try to keep you too long, but I'll show you. I want to get a board or something and put all these things on them, but this is another one that we'll go over later. And this is a powder, and a lot of these that they're claiming cure diseases and cure things. So that's what we're trying to do, and that's what we're hoping to do, is help as many people as we can be as healthy as we can. And I believe that's the way of Yahweh as well. I believe if we can't physically pray for you and get it done, but we all know my aspect of that is, and it's changed as well. I used to think faith and prayer and that was that. But if you have a tooth breaks off, are you going to pray for it, or are you going to go to the dentist? So I've kind of changed in that way of thinking. We're ever growing, we're ever learning. So off of that, and especially you don't think you're going to get sick or have nothing happen for some reason. I guess we're naive, or I was, or we was. But when something happens, then what's the fix? And the more that we look into it, the more we find that we have all these herbs, we have all these things, and they grow. So it's yes, it's all a growing, a learning, I hate to say sometimes maybe even a chastisement of humbling and just going to the Father and saying, what do we need? And sometimes it's like, hey, it's growing right outside. If it ain't, why didn't you grow it? So I mean, if that makes sense. So I thank you all for showing up. I try to be here on Friday nights and do a different one. Again, we have all these different ones. And if you have any questions or comments or know anybody that has any problems, feel free to get a hold of me, Facebook or my number or however, we believe in, we're always here. We're always, always got some kind of contact usually, unless I'm making videos or something like that, but then any other time, get back with you. And that's what it's all about, I believe, helping each other and brothers and sisters and everyone. It doesn't, like I said before, I don't care if you're an atheist, it doesn't matter. We're in the healing business. You don't have to be, but hopefully when you see that would change your mind, right? So with any more questions or comments, I guess we will close it down for the night and try it again. And again, I'm open to, if anybody has anything for next week. Usually I just pray about it or grab one down and go with the next one, or try to find one of the ones we've been using and trying to incorporate them into them. But if not, then we will close it down and call it a night. I thank you all very much for showing up. May Yahweh bless you. May his countenance shine upon you, and may he bless us all and grant us shalom. Shalom, everybody. Thank you. Have a great night.